name's Aimee Johns and I'm the owner of The Butcher Shop, which is 3 retail art supply stores in Perth, and chairperson of the William Street Collective, which runs OnWilliam, a not-for-profit community organisation in Northbridge. I think I started planning towards my business in second year of TAFE, so I was studying fashion design, and at that point I actually entered Nescafe Big Break, which was a competition that was running at the time where people would put their business ideas forward. And I didn't win or anything, but it was just such a great way to start thinking about what is it that I actually want to do and start a very sort of informal business plan. So that is when I first decided that I definitely did want to have sort of a retail space, but with a twist, so gallery, retail, some sort of art space. I was working towards that for a few years as I finished TAFE and as I was working full-time in hospitality, and I was just always working towards the end goal. I'd always told everyone that this is what I was going to do, so I had to do that. I was going through some old photos recently and just looking back at some of the gallery shows that we had, and we had the first Carl Hughes-Odgers solo show, we had Ian Strange showing in the gallery, we had ISO, who's gone over to Europe and done big things, and yeah, lots of little artists, and sometimes you forget until you go back through, but there's been a lot, and yeah, it's really great to see how their careers have progressed. I think for me, I've always wanted to be involved in every aspect, and it's important for me to understand every aspect. So I did spend, even before I opened the shop, spend time going, okay, I don't understand how GST works, go research it. Don't understand how this element works. So for me, it's been important, and I know other people can do it with having other people come in and help them. But for me, trying to start with no money, I think you do have to have a good sense of what's going on in general, so you can do everything yourself. Maybe later on you can start delegating some of that responsibility to other people. I think I'm quite stubborn in a way, so I don't hugely like to listen to other people's advice, which is maybe a bad thing, maybe a good thing, and there's probably a happy medium in the middle. But I guess I couldn't, at the time when I was starting things, I couldn't really see any examples of other people doing exactly what I wanted to do, so I knew I wanted to do things a bit differently. So while you can listen to other people's advice, I think sometimes you have to realise that their experiences or their goals and things might be different to yours. For me, the Small Business Enterprise Centre was a really good resource. And I also did a little bits of small business study through the fashion design course at TAFE, and I also did the NICE program, which was amazingly valuable. So that put you through a small business course during that time. You're writing a business plan, and at the end they review it, and if they think it's going to be somewhat successful, then they will, it's no outright funding, but they give you basically the equivalent of being on New Start for the first year of your business. You can work part-time as well for some extra income, but then you've got that, so you don't need to be drawing so much from the business if you can live on the New Start and kind of get yourself started a little bit, which was really helpful. I think you have to think of your business as something that evolves. You can't just at the beginning have a master plan that's going to be 10, 20, 50 years and just go for it like it's something you're going to change personally, what you want's going to change, and sometimes you have to stop and think and redirect the business to make sure it's still sustaining what you want, and that's creativity and financial wise and lots of different aspects. I think that there's not, for me, the business has never been just numbers on a bit of paper. It's a mixture of trying to make sure I'm creatively happy, that I'm financially sustainable, and lots of different aspects that, to me, makes what I'm doing successful. I guess opportunities will always be coming up, and it's just being in the right place at the right time and it being right for you. So I guess we opened Fremantle store about I'd say about 6 years after I opened the first store, so it was just kind of we feel like we've got the first one sorted, we feel like it would work. I guess you do have to take a very long-term view in retail, because you can have tragic days where you're like, oh, why did I even bother opening the store today? But you have to really look at things, step back and look at things over a week, a month, a year, and know that there is going to be ups and downs and that you just have to weather through them. It feels like there's more and more opportunities for shared studio spaces and that kind of thing, or even just sticking your hand up to be involved in an exhibition or volunteering at an arts organisation, or moving to a shared studio space and just starting those connections. And it's amazing how fast all those things can build, just being involved in you know, one little event, then you might meet 20 new people, and from there just so many things can happen. So just jumping in there and giving it a go, and realising that no one else knows what they're doing either, and there's no right or wrong way to do anything, just jump in and give it a go. Yeah, talking the street art scene, it's just a matter of a couple of individuals getting out there and getting busy and organising a couple walls, and then other people seeing that, other businesses wanting to work with artists and having original artwork in their stores and their cafes and their restaurants, and it definitely has grown an immense amount. I guess what we see now compared to maybe 10 years ago is a lot more different artists from different fields working on murals, whether that's inside or outside. A lot of big works that I guess just people didn't realise were possible before, and now there's a lot of them everywhere. Public's been amazing at doing some very big scale stuff that other smaller groups, or maybe just artists and businesses working together, they just can't do that scale. So Form's been able to bring a whole another level to that, bringing in amazing artists from overseas and doing some really big showcase things, which is, again, it's only going to create more opportunities as people can be inspired by these big things.